Oh, might be a little bit after 7, so kind of an average start for me, I guess. Didn't start serving breakfast in my albergue till 6:30, and I sat there for a while talking to another pilgrim who actually is at IU Bloomington right now doing his dissertation, and so I was in IU Bloomington back in 1970, mid 70s sometime, and so we were talking about things. But I've got it's either going to be 20K today or 30K because there's a 10 kilometer gap between. Look at the flowers over here. It's nice. There's a 10K gap between the two towns. So it'll either be another short day or a longer day, depending upon how I feel once I first 20K.
The coffee's ready if you have some. Breakfast should be finished.
Okay, up to a pretty good start this morning. I think I've only swallowed 2 or 3 bugs so far, and I'm about maybe 45 minutes into the hike, so we'll see how many bugs. See if I can keep it to under a half a dozen bug day. I have to learn to keep my mouth closed, I guess. Okay, so I was just looking at my far out, and it looks like I got a pretty good long stretch of a gradual downhill. Probably will seem fairly level, actually, but a little bit downhill for what looks like maybe about 6 miles or so, 10K. And then looks like I'm going to have a pretty steep grade uphill. And so that will be hopefully my last big challenge for the day. There was a climb out of a decent climb out of town this morning, but it wasn't too bad. The grade was definitely manageable. But we'll see how I'm probably I'm guessing about 2.5 hours away from that big climb. So we'll check back in when I get to that point.
The Camino is,
For a lot of people, well, especially Catholics and religious people who go to reflect upon their faith and I guess the meaning of life and things like that. And then I think the more secular pilgrims use it as an opportunity just to sort of stop and reflect on their lives and finding a sense of purpose and addressing big issues, things like that. And a lot of times there's people would be trying to deal with tragedies, loss, stuff like that. We all live our lives and we all deal with things like that. I'm not so much inclined to share publicly, some of my deeper thoughts and emotions like some people do. I on an individual basis, if I have a close friend, I'll talk about, things like that. But maybe some bigger topics, overall topics, maybe on some of these less spectacular parts of the Camino. I'll start addressing some issues as I see them in terms of the big picture, and maybe a little bit as far as my own perspective, those sorts of things. things like, you know, like I said, some people are dealing with grief, so I might, a couple days from now, maybe have a little talk about, you know, my ideas with about grief, uh, regret, things like that. You know, with sense of purpose and seizing the day, carpe diem, and you know, life issues like that, and to make some of these less spectacular. I don't want to say boring, but less spectacular parts of the Camino, maybe a little more interesting and actually, you know, be an opportunity for me to try to, you know, immerse myself in part of the meaning behind the Camino. I actually must have missed a town along the way. I've gone further than I thought I had this morning. I've already done a little over 10 kilometers. And evidently I passed a little town that I didn't even notice along the way, Sambol. Because I think this is, what's this town called? Antanas or something like that. So yeah, guess I'm making pretty good time so far this morning. It's about 8:45, I think. And and I think I've done, well over 10 kilometers, maybe 11 kilometers so far. And so I might actually be closer to that climb than I thought. In fact, that doesn't look that bad, so I don't really think that's it. So, all right, we'll check into this town. I may rehydrate and possibly get a little snack and get the rest of the way on the trail. It looks like I've got some pilgrims here at a little restaurant here. I may stop and get a little something to drink and then be on my way. Okay, I just had a little rest, rehydrated a bit, and had a little snack at that little restaurant. Talked to a few other pilgrims, and now I'm gonna walk through this town. And yeah, turns out I'm making better time than I thought I was. So I'm feeling optimistic that I will be able to get in those 30K today. But here again, a lot sort of depends on the weather. If that sun is fairly clear right now, so in another hour or two, that sun could be bearing down on me. And if I'm drenched in sweat at mile 20, I may just make it another short day. Coming up on a town right here, and I'll have to check my map. By the time I get up there, I might actually be approaching the 20-kilometer point, so that might be the point where I have to make my decision where I'm going on the rest of the way. But I still have that steep climb that's showing up on Gut Hook, and I'm afraid that might be it right there. So yeah, I don't know. It's going to show up in the video, but that could be nasty. We'll see. Okay, so this is the town of, I think, Castro Hiris. And I'm afraid I'm going to be climbing up there very soon. I just rehydrated, and yeah, I'm gonna be hiking that 10 more, but I'm gonna have to get over this hill first.
Asking me for change and I could use some. Think I could use some sometimes. All these things slow me down. Like the concrete that's been sticking to the bottom of my shoes. Soles worn and tired have started wearing through. I can feel them heavier now. There's a hole here in my pocket. It reminds me of the ways I am hungry and always running for an open door. But on the highway, heavy-hearted, humming just to hear a sound. Loneliness, it lingers through unfamiliar towns, all of them stunning, and none of them home. And I don't know if I live like this for peace of mind. Can't say if I do it for the foolish pride. Or maybe
All right,
it's
looks
all
like
to prove that I'm alive.
my next stop for time just over this bridge and to the right, according to my far out app anyway. Cross this bridge, you're off to the right, and we'll see my next stop, Lure of the Night. Yeah, nice bridge. Jump ahead here, get around the bend. I see some signs up ahead. So maybe a little bit farther than maybe a little farther than I thought. We'll see. Okay, it looks like I might be getting into town just in time, just ahead of a storm coming in from behind me. I don't know if you can hear any of the thunder, but I've been hearing some thunder behind me, and there's definitely some dark clouds. So looks like pretty good timing. I should be in town in the next 10 minutes or so.